What is going on, everyone? I am James Avoster, your new host of the Bulldog Breakdown. Ben Carpini has sadly graduated, so he can no longer run the show. So I'm going to start season 2 as your new host. And we're just going to get right into it with our first guest, Miss Cheryl Schipper, the new principal of our Rockland High School. And it's an honor and it's a pleasure to have you on the show with me today.
It is a pleasure to be here with you, James. Very excited.
So I just have some questions for you. Should be easy, simple questions, nothing too hard. And yeah, that's it. So should we get
Great.
into it?
Let's get right into it.
All right. So my first question is, from what I've heard, you've had a long career here at the Rockland School District. Would you mind telling us how you started out and what led you to get to this point?
Sure. I started as a science teacher at Rockland High School in 1998. I was a physics and chemistry teacher for 12 years. And the last 5 years that I was a teacher, I was dean with Mr. Damon. There were two of us deans at the time. And I really enjoyed doing that. And toward the end of that, I was working on my administrator's license. And then the assistant principal, so the principal of the middle school retired, and Miss Bond, who was the assistant principal, moved in to the principal role, and that role became vacant. So I moved over there with my fresh new administrator's license and became assistant principal of the middle school, where I was for 14 years. The first 11 years I was assistant principal, and then the last 3 years I was principal. And now I'm back at Rockland High School, so I'm super excited to be here.
So how has your time as principal been so far?
It's been amazing. So I've been just getting reacquainted with all of the students, most of whom I knew because most of them came through the middle school. So I know so many of the students. So that's been amazing to see everybody a little more grown up and just getting to know everybody again. But there's a lot of new staff at the high school. So I have a lot of new people to get acquainted with at the high school, because some of the people are still here that were here at the high school when I was here, but not too many, under 20.
So what are some things that you plan on doing differently than the previous principal here?
So mostly my goal for this year is to just really watch and learn and listen, hear from a lot of different people. Rockland High School is an amazing place. So for me to come in and say there are all these things I want to change, that would be crazy. I mean, it's a great place. There are a lot of great programs for students here. Students do very well here. We have amazing AP program offerings that students are doing really well on. Students are going to great colleges. So students are doing really well here. So for me to come in and say that I'm going to change all these things would not be wise. There will be things that I feel like we could do a little bit different, or better, or improve on the things that Dr. Harrison started, and keep going. So I'm kind of listening and learning and getting to know the lay of the land and getting to know all the new teachers and all the new classes. And so that's it, just kind of paying attention and making decisions as I go.
What are some things that you definitely observed so far that you would like to change, like any issues or how we run things?
I can't say that there's anything really significant there. There are a couple of programs that we're working on developing. Our Career Innovation Pathways program is something that was started last year that we're going to continue on, so that will be a change. The Vision of the Graduate is another program that was kind of started a little bit last year with your graduating class, and we're going to be working to build that. So those will be two areas that we'll be building on.
Is Vision of the Graduate, is that a graduating requirement or no, just something that you can do just to have your work out?
It is a graduation requirement for your grade in the incoming freshman.
Okay. And how would you say was your high school experience when you were a student? Would you say that you were excited to go to school every day? Like you woke up and you were ready for the day, excited?
Well, I would say overall I had an amazing high school experience. I would be disingenuous to say that I loved getting up and going to school every day, but I would say I was a relatively unfocused student as a freshman and sophomore, and I really started to take it seriously junior and senior year. So But I loved it. I had a great high school experience. I can't say anything negative about that. I wish I got involved more, if I were being honest. I played soccer for a couple years. I wasn't very good at it, and I did yearbook. I did a couple of things, but I wish I got involved more.
Would you say that students that go here are excited to go to school?
At 8 a.m., maybe some. I think by and large, kids are happy to come to school here. I think it is human nature for all of us to wish we could sleep a little longer in the morning. So, but I greet kids coming in the door every day, and they seem happy to be coming in and ready to learn and work. And so, by and large, I think kids are happy to be here. I think people enjoy vacations, but no, I see happy kids here. I think kids are glad to be here.
For the students that are not really excited, that don't really like school, do you have anything or any ideas that would maybe get them more intrigued to go to school, maybe get them more focused and be more part of the community?
Get involved. There's so many, look at you guys in here. I mean, you're planning programming, right? That's a super exciting opportunity we're able to offer you here at Rockland High School. But we have so many clubs and activities and athletic opportunities for students that there should be something that everybody would find interesting. So get out there. I always put the list of clubs and activities in the newsletter. Kids should check that out and try something new.
And obviously you were a principal at the middle school.
Yes.
What are some differences between being a high school, middle school principal? Like, would you say you have like more power to control certain things? Is it the same? How would you describe it?
I would say that there are aspects to the high school principalship that are different than middle school principal. For example, athletics. That's a huge difference, right? So when I look at my weekly calendar, I have athletic events in it that I want to make sure I get to. I don't get to everything, but there's a lot of extracurricular. There's a lot more extracurricular opportunities at the high school that I want to make sure I'm supporting. And there are no athletics at the middle school. So that's one major difference. And I would say that the students are a lot more grown up at the high school, so that's very different. At the middle school, and you remember the middle school, I'm sure there's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of saying to keep your hands to yourself and that kind of thing, and make sure kids are doing the right thing and doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm finding that I have to do that less at the high school. But high school kids still need to know that adults are around to support them too.
Yeah. I've definitely noticed myself moving up from middle school to high school that definitely there's a change in how things are and what's expected of you.
Yeah.
And
right.
Yeah, so there definitely is a difference as a student.
Yeah. People grow up.
Did you always see yourself pursuing a career in education?
That's a good question. So when I was in my senior level physics class, I had this amazing educator named Mr. Lally, who really impressed upon me. He made physics so fun, and he would jump around the classroom, and he was very animated, and he was just really fun. And I learned a ton from him, and I had heard that physics was such a hard class, and he made it so interesting and engaging for me that I was like, wow, that's a really cool job. So I would say that was the first time that I had the idea of being a teacher, was from Mr. Lally. And then I always kind of had it in the back of my mind. I'd majored in physics. I'm not sure that when I started as an engineer in college, but then I changed to physics quickly. It wasn't my plan necessarily throughout college. But by the time I was a senior in college, I knew that was the direction I was going to go in.
Would you like to take your career further, like maybe becoming superintendent?
James, I think I'm good where I am. I think I'm just really excited to be here. And, never say never, but I'm really happy to be at the high school right now. And, I've got lots of years left to enjoy this job. So no, that's not on my radar right now.
And obviously coming into this school, there are probably some students that are not familiar with you and do not know of you. What is something that you would want those students to know about you?
I hope they know that I'm approachable, so I make it an effort to talk to kids. I walk around the cafeteria sometimes, and certainly if I see a student sitting by themselves or maybe a new student that I can tell is new, I always try to engage them, have conversation. I do a lot of that and make kids feel a little bit more comfortable. So I hope that I'm approachable. I certainly try to be approachable. And, students should know that all of the staff is approachable. If they need anything, I can certainly get them what they need. So I hope that kids feel that we're there to support them and they can ask for what they need.
Going off of that, would you say that you have a great relationship with students? And would you say that you can kind of connect to students on a different level than some teachers in the building?
I would say I do have great relationship with students. I mean, that's something I take very seriously. It's my favorite part of the job. I think it's why we do what we do as educators. So I would say I have great relationships with kids. I mean, I have a lot of students that I've had the good fortune of working with since they're in 5th grade. So I know kids pretty well. I mean, some of the kids who are seniors now I've known for, 8 years, 7-something years. So, yeah, I do have great relationships with kids. It's very rewarding to me to see students. And I was assistant principal, remember. So some of the students that I have great relationships with today might have needed a lot of support with me as an assistant principal, if that makes sense. So I might have spent a decent amount of time with them. So that's very gratifying to me to see kids, grow up and do better and be successful. But to say that I have better relationships with students than teachers in the building, I don't think that's fair to say because, lots of teachers have amazing relationships with their students. So,
what is something that you miss about your old school?
I miss the staff of the old school. I miss, I worked with those people for a long time, so I really do miss them. And I miss the energy of the old school. So working in a middle school it's a very busy place. If you can think back to the middle school, it's a lot of, kids with a lot of energy all day, every day. And, it can be a lot, but it's also a lot of fun. So I miss that energy. Yeah.
Is there anything that you think this school is missing, or is there anything that was there anything at your old school that isn't here that you would like to try and incorporate as the new principal?
That's a good question, and nothing jumps to my mind right now. Nothing that would be interesting to you here, there are a couple of the way we run this meeting or the way we do this thing that wouldn't really be interesting to you. But no. I think Rockland High School is amazing.
All right. And for the last question of this interview, you've had a long career here in Rockland schools. What would you say is your best memory? Like favorite moment, favorite class, anything?
Oh, gosh, James, that's a good question, and that's a hard one. It has certainly been a long and storied career. I remember a lot of things. I remember some hard things, like September 11th happening when I was teaching a class. I remember getting electrocuted and being sent across a classroom and landing in a student's lap in the front row. Neither one of those are fond memories, but both of those happened. I think opening up the new schools was really exciting. So seeing the middle school being built and the high school being renovated was a really exciting time. Seeing the football team win the championship a couple years ago was a really exciting time. I guess just watching the Rockland schools grow, seeing our AP offerings grow so much over the years, so that students have so many more opportunities. I can't pick just one. Sorry.
I do actually have one more question that just came to mind.
Okay.
Do you have any advice for graduating students, as for like any advice for, what's coming to them in the real world?
So I would say try to find something that you love to do, because going to work every day it's you're going to do it for a long time. And I truly, once I'm up and out of bed, I truly am excited to come to work every day. Um, I love walking through these doors and seeing students and working with teachers and just feeling school energy and the vibe in schools. And that's how I know that I'm meant to be an educator, if that makes sense. So I would say that for students to try to find something that you really enjoy. You're not going to love every aspect of your job, but if you can love it on the whole so that you're excited to go to work every day, and you can enjoy what you do, because you work a lot of hours of your life. And to not like your job, to not enjoy it, to not have it kind of, not to sound hokey, but feed your soul, I think would make work life hard. I'm an educator through and through, so every aspect of this job is like part of who I am. And my family would tell you you can't separate I'm just a teacher. I'm just an educator, like through and through. So find something you love and find a way to do it.
Thank you. And thank you for letting me interview you today.
My pleasure.
It was a pleasure to be able to talk to you and get to know more about you, as I've known you for a while, and I think I've, been able to connect with you more, and I think that's great.
Great. Well, I'm so proud of you. Great job.
Thanks
for having me.
And thank you for watching this episode of the Bulldog Breakdown. There will be more to come, so make sure you subscribe and like the video, and make sure to follow my social media. Thank you for watching.